Okay, so I just made a video, but real quickly, I wanted to make a second video because I am already ready and I didn't want to forget this. So, yeah, I was rewatching the video and I was talking about birth charts, so that video should be already up. And then this one where in all these videos we're talking about how I usually manifest and how you're going to get a sneak peek into how I think of things and how I look at things. So, one of the things, one of the way I think about things is that time is not real. And I know that we hear it a lot, like time isn't real. Time is a construct. I don't even know what that means. I honestly don't even know what construct means, to be honest. So I was always like wanting people to explain that, and not everyone can. Some people just say things, some people just repeat things. I like to understand things and for things to be clear and me not walk away in confusion. So, time not being real is a big deal when it comes to manifesting, I think. So, I wanted to explain that real quick. And since I just talked about birth charts, that's what reminded me of, oh, I should probably talk about that. So, an example of time not being real. When you're born and um, all the planets are in a certain sign, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, you probably want to watch the last video where I explained what a birth chart is. But basically, let's say the sun was in Cancer when I was born, the moon was in Taurus when I was born, and time goes on. The planets are constantly rotating and going into different astrological signs. So, how is it that you know, time goes on and I go on and I do change and I evolve and I grow, but those characteristics stay within me of the Taurus moon characteristics, the Cancer sun characteristics, right? I'm still an emotional Cancer, a never giving up type of Cancer, and I'm still a stubborn Taurus, you know what I mean? So, so the exactly what was going on when I was born, and I made up of stars, and what was going on in the cosmos when I was born is you can see that within me. So time isn't real, if that makes sense in that way. Um, and another way I can explain how time isn't real is, everything that has happened, that could happen, all these other timelines, they are all going on at the same time. And, you know, if you get into physics, I think it is, and I think it was Einstein who was trying to prove this, and Nassim Haramein started to prove it, which I learned from The Quietest Revolution, who is an astrologer on YouTube, who was one of the only astrologers I saw for years. So I just plugged in a few things if you guys want to check a few of those things out. But in quantum physics, basically, it's been proven that we can only see like 1% of what actually exists in front of our own eyes. So, yeah, maybe time isn't real and everything that's going on that has ever existed, can exist, whatever, is all happening at the same time. Well, we're only able to see 1% of what is. That's a big thing. With astrology, exactly what zodiac signs and energies were going on in the cosmos at the very moment that I was born. I carry that with me, right? What zodiac sign Mars was in, Pluto was in. I have that. And, also like, for example, some examples that I've lived that showed me time isn't real is like moments when, there was a moment that stands out to me all the time. I was talking to someone, they were crying, they were and emotional, and somebody that they were traveling with was getting upset with them because they were emotional and because they were like, well, I don't want these people on vacation with us, basically. I start talking to this person as they're crying and venting, um, and I'm like, listen, obviously that person that you want to listen to you um, would, because the people that you're venting about are doing the most. But you see that that person that you want to listen to you is already stressed out. So by you just talking to them, you're going to stress them out even more, and they're going to start to direct that anger at you, like what you're telling me happened. So what I want you to do is to not vent to that person that you want to listen to you anymore, and basically just chill out and enjoy yourself. And these people obviously want to push your buttons. You're crying right now, your buttons have been pushed. So these people that obviously want to push your buttons, when their tactics that they're used to using aren't working on you, they're going to have to go through even more drastic measures to get you to that breaking point, which is going to make their actions even more obvious to the person that you want to listen to you. And that person is going to say it for themselves, and they're going to react and respond for themselves, and they're going to want to leave as well. So just chill out. And that's basically what I was saying. And as I was saying it, those last words that were coming out of my mouth, I was seeing this person's tears like dry up, them gain clarity, and you could see it in their eyes. They were like, okay, yeah, I can do that, that makes sense, right? I was making it make sense for her, and by showing her a new perspective. And in that moment, when I was like getting those last few words out and I'm seeing her tears dried up and clarity, that person that she wanted to listen to her walks in the room, tells me that he went off on all those people that were trying to push her buttons. He told them all to fuck off, and they left in those moments. And then he just walks out, and she's like, everything that you said was gonna happen happened. And I'm like, I was shocked myself, honestly, but on the outside, I was like, well, yeah, obviously, you know, because time isn't real. So as soon as you shift your emotions or your perspective, it's already done. It's already done. And I've seen it happen a few times. Okay, so that's an example of how time isn't real. You just shift one thing and everything changes. Now you're in a new timeline that already exists, right? Or something around those lines that makes most sense for you. So, yeah, part of manifesting is just knowing that time isn't real, but it doesn't mean that the past that you've experienced isn't the past that you've experienced. Um, in a way, we can only keep going forward. And when I go back, it's just to pull out some weeds or change my perspective on what it was that did happen. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to change the past. I'm not trying to change the future. Everything is everything. And what I'm doing right now is living in the present moment where there's infinite possibilities for me to manifest whatever it is that I choose. But sometimes, um, you know, we live in a, I should probably do that in another video, but we live in cycles as well where we see patterns repeating itself. So that's why I look back and pull out some weeds, because when I make a decision and I manifest, what has happened in the past was that the past followed me. You know what I mean? Like if there was something that I was still insecure about, those weeds weren't pulled, so they kept coming up, and it would kind of trip me up a little bit, right? So for me, healing is important, saying things with clarity is important, your perspective is important, and yeah, time is not real in my opinion. And this is just a short 10-minute video. Obviously, there's a lot more to it, but that just means I'm going to make a lot more videos. And I want you guys to understand. And the best way that I think I can do that is by just repeatedly showing up and providing more and more clarity and just keep making more videos. So yeah, but obviously I don't know everything. You guys can learn on your own. I definitely put in some plugs in this video. So you guys can keep learning on your own time and not have to wait on me. Um, and yeah, I'm getting nervous. I've been recording for far too long, so I'm gonna log off and go hang out with the dogs and whatnot. Good luck to you guys and love ya.